Welcome. Today, this video, not today, there will be more than one day, but this video is about trying to clone a beer, and it's a beer that is one of the best beers I've ever had. I just had it for the first time recently, and that is the Eureka American Blonde Ale by Treehouse Brewing. A co-worker of Sarah's, who's now an ex-co-worker of Sarah's, moved to Boston and shipped us some Treehouse beers. I believe I tasted on the channel one of these beers. He sent Julius and a green one, a stout, and this one. I had actually held up on drinking this just because I'm not a huge blonde ale person. This was not a blonde ale. This was a very hoppy pale ale, and it was unbelievably amazing. The hop combo, the malt bill, it blew our minds away. So I was like, I gotta try it. I gotta try and make this. Will I succeed? Probably not. Do I have another can to compare it to? No, I don't. That's okay though. I couldn't find any info on this online about how this is made. I found one person talked about it. I think they also were doing a Eureka with Citra, which was different than this just Eureka one. So I'm assuming it's Eureka hops. That's what I'm doing, 100% of it. Got them from some online, More Beer or one of those, I don't know. This is from Artisan Hops, and I got 2 packs, 4 ounces total, 2-gallon batch. I'm also going to add the hops late in the boil. I'm going to start them at like 20 minutes, and then 5, and then 0. It was hard again because this did have that pininess, that sort of bite to it, but it was so fruity and so perfect. So I'm trying to emulate it. I think starting late hops is the best way. The IBUs I have are at 60. Guarantees theirs are probably lower. 30-ish is probably my guess. They just dry hop the crap out of it. The grain bill, I just kind of went off what I thought it might be because it was kind of hazy. I did take one crappy photo of it. I'll show it right now. And I assume it had flaked oats in it, so I'm doing 11% flaked oats. I think it had maybe had some Carapils. That's what the one person who cloned it said they added to it. I did that, about 2%. The rest of it is 2-row. I don't have the yeast that I would like to make it like really kind of give a little haze to it. That's the London 3 I used a lot, the Y Yeast 1318 I believe it is. There's yeast out there that can produce these kind of more hazy things. It's alright. It did have haze to it, but I don't think that's the focus of what I'm trying to do here anyway. So I'm going to use US-05, that's all I have. Unfortunately, it does produce some diacetyl sometimes for me, which is a problem. And I've actually heard that from other people too, so hope for the best. It's just so easy to store. Let's get it going. By the way, if you don't contain calcium chloride very well, it like melts, it gets drippy. I have it in a little container, like a Tupperware, and I screw the lid closed. That works pretty well. Looks like some may have got out, but you can tell they're still intact, which is good. I don't quite know what to do with this because it was pretty pillowy when I tasted it, but it also had a bite to it. So I just kind of split the difference, sort of 50-50 on the sulfate to the calcium chloride. So yeah, we'll see. If anyone has any suggestions on what they recommend for this, if they've had this beer or try to clone it, or something similar, just comment below. 10:38, going for 10:36. Post-boil, target 10:43. On track. You know, I had been good at testing my gravity along the way and adding DME as needed. Forgot this time. So let's hope it's in the ballpark. Okay, 10:45. Great. About where I want to be. And yeah, I'm going to pitch 2 grams of yeast in each one. I'm trying to get better my pitch rates rather than just kind of dumping some yeast in. That's the research I did on this. Hopefully that's right. And yeah, I'm going to add some dry hops right now though. So yeah, I'm going to add half an ounce into each one of this, ferment it, and serve it. So I'm going to ferment it probably like 66 degrees Fahrenheit, rise it up to like 70, let it do its diacetyl rest because it might need it. Especially with this thing called hop creep that's been happening where adding hops or large amount of dry hops can actually introduce sugar into it, which then can create diacetyl problems. I think it's only an issue with like bigger breweries. I haven't really experienced it, but I am going to add another dose of dry hops in the keg. But then what I'm going to do is keep the keg at like 65 degrees Fahrenheit for like 4 or 5 days and then cool it down. And yeah, so let's go to the tasting and let's see how this turned out. Tasting. Here they be. Got the can still. This one on my left-hand side is the one that was not in the keg the whole time. So I dry hopped this in the jug, then transferred it. This one is transferred onto the hops in the keg, and they've been in the keg for this whole time. It's been about 2.5, 3 weeks or so. Let them really sit. I did try this other one, the one that was, dry hopped in the jug, and it was pretty good at the time. But I don't know. He's looking a little brown, more brown than I would like. I guess more like an IPA side of things, to be honest. I did not have the right yeast for this, unfortunately. I needed some sort of juice yeast. I know white yeast has some. I could have tried the English strain, the, what is that one? 1318, the London one. But, the US-05 it is, and if this tastes off, this will be the last time I use US-05. That's it. I'll figure out a way to store other yeast. That's the only reason why I keep using it. So, let's see. Not bad. It's a little flabby. And I'm going against this, too. So, definitely very, very, picky. A little off on the taste. I mean the smell. Maybe the hair diacetyl. The US-05, man. It just keeps spitting it out. No matter what I do, no matter my pitching rates, it just I had a good run for a while, and all of a sudden the last 32 batches have had like just offness to them. They're a little buttery. The aroma's not that great on it. But the taste is decent. I'm not getting too much diacetyl in the taste as much. It just tastes okay, kind of flabby. All right, I see the one dry hopped in the keg. Now that aroma is way more pungent. Oh my god. Night and day. I purposely let them sit for 2-3 weeks also in the keg just to see, like, okay, you dry hop in your carboy, transfer it, maybe you let it sit for a week to carbonate, and let's say you serve it over the course of 2 weeks. How does it hold up? This is night and day. Like, easy, easy, easy. I could blind this. If someone come here and switch it up, I know exactly which one's which. Oh my god, it's like fruity, citrusy, a little bit of grapefruit in particular, which is what this had. I like a sort of pine grapefruit thing. It's like pungent. I'm not getting any diacetyl. Oh yeah. Even the flavors, more piney. Well-rounded. These taste like 2 entirely different beers. That is crazy. Now, it's possible this one got a little more oxidized. Is the hair darker? Maybe. This is astounding. Now, this is really, really close to this. This is better. Obviously, this is the best beer I've ever had. And, well, the best hoppy beer I ever had. Well, that was... The only thing I would change on this is different yeast. Just to get a hazier and a little brighter. And there you go. So, there it is for what it's worth. Thank you for watching. Get weird for sure. See you next time. So if anyone wants to send me one of these so I can compare it to, that'd be awesome. If not, don't worry about it. No obligation at all. You can email me at barleyandthehops1@gmail.com.